Today, we have multiple themes to cover. We will discuss Shohei Ohtani's absence from the game, the trade rumors surrounding Seiya Suzuki, the incredible, monstrous power of Kazuma Okamoto, the current challenges facing Roki Sasaki, and the sheer genius of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We will dive into various topics. First, let us talk about Kazuma Okamoto of the Toronto Blue Jays. The other day, in a game against the New York Yankees at Rogers Center, Kazuma Okamoto launched a massive home run into the uppermost deck of left field. It was his 14th home run of the season, and his power must have truly shocked the world. He is a power hitter who led the Yomiuri Giants for many years as the core of their team. After moving to the Blue Jays, it took some time for him to fully demonstrate his true capabilities in a foreign country. However, watching that monumental blast to left field, I felt that he has finally showcased his signature style of batting to the entire world. He used to hit home runs just like that at Tokyo Dome, the home stadium of the Yomiuri Giants. Right now, the home runs of Munetaka Murakami are making headlines. But Kazuma Okamoto is by no means inferior in terms of raw power. Furthermore, his most distinctive characteristic is his exit velocity. The speed of his batted balls is tremendous, and he unleashes hits that are right on par with Shohei Ohtani. Because of his quiet personality, he does not stand out excessively. But once he enters the batter's box, he transforms into an absolute monster. Since transferring to the Blue Jays, Kazuma Okamoto had been playing a bit too cautiously. And there were many plate appearances where his lack of aggressiveness was quite noticeable. Because he was trying too hard to track the pitches closely, he would often let strikes go by without swinging until he had 2 strikes. When that happens, if he swings and misses at the next pitch, the at-bat ends in a strikeout. We witnessed this kind of plate appearance over and over again. I was very worried about him, but recently, we can see that Kazuma Okamoto is consciously trying to swing at sweet pitches, even on the very first pitch. Although some hesitant parts still remain, it has become much better compared to before. With this recent monumental blast to left field as a turning point, I am highly anticipating that we will see much more of Kazuma Okamoto's true, signature batting style moving forward. Next, let us move on to the topic of Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs. Recently, Seiya Suzuki has been in excellent form, and as of June 13, Japan time, he is on a spectacular hot streak, extending his consecutive game-hitting streak to 9 games. Despite his great performance, trade reports surrounding him have become quite prominent lately. People are saying that, depending on the performance and standings of the Cubs, he might be put on the trade block this summer. Hypothetically, if a trade discussion arises, the final decision will ultimately rest on what Seiya Suzuki wants to do, but there is no doubt that the demand for him will be extremely high. He is an outfielder and a right-handed hitter. Recently, left-handed hitters have become very dominant across the league, so I believe the number of teams requiring a strong right-handed power hitter is increasing. In addition, since he is a Japanese player, there is no better or more attractive player than him for ball clubs aiming to capture the Japanese market. In my opinion, the ideal trade destination for Seiya Suzuki would be the Chicago White Sox. If he ends up playing alongside Munetaka Murakami, who is currently on the injured list, it could generate a massive surge of popularity in Japan, rivaling that of the Los Angeles Dodgers. During their time in Nippon professional baseball, Munetaka Murakami was the powerhouse slugger for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Meanwhile, Seiya Suzuki spent the same era as the powerhouse slugger for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp, and they fought fiercely against each other as rivals. If those two players join forces on the same team, it will create a level of excitement and appeal that can rival the samurai trio of the Dodgers. For the White Sox, who are already drawing immense attention from Japanese fans due to Munetaka Murakami, acquiring Seiya Suzuki would make securing the Japanese market an absolute reality. If the Cubs decide to trade Seiya Suzuki this summer, I truly hope the White Sox will step up and enter the race to acquire him. Some people are also speculating that the Dodgers might make a move to acquire Seiya Suzuki. It is true that, among the position players on the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani is the only Japanese player. On days when Shohei Ohtani takes a day off, there is not a single Japanese position player on the field. Consequently, the number of Japanese fans watching the Dodgers broadcasts drops significantly. It is fine if Yoshinobu Yamamoto or Roki Sasaki are pitching on that day, but if absolutely no Japanese players are participating, I believe Japanese fans will not watch the Dodgers games. By acquiring a Japanese star player like Seiya Suzuki, the Dodgers could make their hold on the Japanese market much more stable and secure. Even on days when Shohei Ohtani is resting, if Seiya Suzuki is playing in the game, many Japanese fans will undoubtedly tune in to watch the Dodgers. Furthermore, by joining the team, he can also be highly expected to serve as the successor to Yosuke. Since Seiya Suzuki is an outfielder, the available positions are limited, but as a right-handed power hitter, he is absolutely worth acquiring. If the Dodgers do acquire Seiya Suzuki, it will create a superstar duo born in the exact same year alongside Shohei Ohtani, which will unquestionably become another massive topic of discussion in Japan. It will be incredibly exciting to see what kind of moves take place during the summer, and we will continue to keep a close eye on the situation. Regarding Shohei Ohtani, he was substituted out during the game on June 12 due to an injury to his left knee. And he took a scheduled rest day for the game on the following day. Fortunately, the results of the examination showed that there was absolutely no abnormality in his left knee, which must bring immense relief to fans all over the world. I am sure there are many Japanese fans who do not watch the Dodgers games when Shohei Ohtani takes a day off. However, he is human after all, so rest is absolutely necessary, and it is something that simply cannot be helped. The season is still only in its first half, and there is absolutely no need for him to push himself too hard. It would be best if he returns to the field in perfect, peak condition to show us his energetic performance once again. Knowing Shohei Ohtani, he is probably feeling incredibly restless and eager to play on game days. However, he needs to be patient right now, and I hope he returns to playing in the games only when his body is completely at 100%. Recently, he has finally recovered from a long-term batting slump and has started hitting home runs again. If he forces himself to swing with an injured body, it could ruin his batting mechanics once more and cause him to fall back into a slump. Moreover, entering a game while feeling even the slightest discomfort in his left knee could trigger an even more severe injury. Therefore, it is highly desirable for him to proceed with his body care with the utmost caution. Now, regarding Roki Sasaki, he started on the mound in the game against the White Sox on June 13, Japan time, and unfortunately recorded a career-worst 7 earned runs. However, I am not worried about this result at all. Rather, I feel that this was a game filled with many profound learning experiences for him. Up until now, he had been struggling significantly with the slick MLB official baseball, unable to control the ball, and was in a state where he could not even throw consistent strikes. From that difficult period, he has now become able to throw pitches that allow him to truly compete with the opponents. He has finally reached the stage where he can face the batters head-on. The phase has shifted, and from here on, it was supposed to be a direct battle against the opposing batters, but Roki Sasaki was heavily hit by the White Sox lineup. Experiencing failure through actual, real game competition provides countless major lessons. He was able to throw the ball into the strike zone. His fastball velocity is also increasing. Yet, he was hit hard by the batters. Why did this happen? This is a dilemma that is one level higher than the previous struggles he was suffering from, and it is clear evidence of Roki Sasaki's growth. Since coming to MLB, he currently lacks sufficient experience in successfully navigating out of high-pressure, bases-loaded jam situations. I feel that this lack of experience is what led to the heavy run deficit in the White Sox game. The fact that he was able to gain such an experience in the first half of the season is actually a massive positive. As the season enters the second half, many more severe and critical situations will inevitably arise. During those crucial moments, what is required of Roki Sasaki right now is to confidently showcase his true pitching style and completely shut down the opposing lineup. That is the exact challenge he must overcome now. I have high expectations for his next start on the mound. Finally, regarding Yoshinobu Yamamoto, there is absolutely no need to worry about this genius pitcher. In a strange and fascinating way, even if he gives up runs in the early innings from the first to the third inning, he goes on to deliver such a magnificent performance that he becomes completely untouchable. His engine has a distinct characteristic where it warms up right after he gives up a run. When Yoshinobu Yamamoto starts a game, we can comfortably watch his pitching with the mindset that giving up runs in the first to the third inning is just a natural part of his process. Although there are times when he allows runs in the middle of the game, the greatest strength of his pitching style is that the bigger the jam he faces, the more he can unleash his true, ultimate potential. Furthermore, he possesses the incredible ability to analyze his pitching during the game and adjust his own mechanics on the fly. This is something that is not easily done. That is exactly why Yoshinobu Yamamoto is capable of escaping safely no matter how big of a jam he gets into. Right now, Roki Sasaki does not have many effective tools or methods to bail himself out when he gets into a tough jam. I truly want him to watch Yoshinobu Yamamoto's pitching closely and learn from that aspect. During his time in NPB, Yoshinobu Yamamoto achieved the incredible feat of winning the Eiji Sawamura Award, the highest honor for a pitcher, for 3 consecutive years from 2021 to 2023. Batter in NPB rarely chase pitches outside the strike zone. Moreover, unlike MLB, the number of teams in the league is small, meaning a pitcher must face the exact same batters over and over again. The fact that he won the Sawamura Award for 3 consecutive years in such an environment speaks volumes about how exceptionally brilliant his pitching command and strategy truly are. If you recall Yoshinobu Yamamoto's pitching from last season and the postseason, you will completely understand just how much of a genius pitcher he truly is. Since he is human, even someone as great as Yoshinobu Yamamoto cannot guarantee a flawless, perfect performance in every single game. However, his attitude of preparing meticulously and striving to deliver his absolute best performance every single game is truly inspiring, and I hold the utmost respect for him. I believe his relentless, insatiable hunger for self-improvement is the exact driving force that sustains the genius of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Whenever I watch him command the baseball completely at will and masterfully retire the batters, it honestly feels like I am sitting back and enjoying a beautiful work of art. That is all for today. Thank you very much.